Hey guys, happy Fire Friday to you. Here we are talking about funding your reason, FYR. And in the Fire Partners community, we focus on helping you understand your reason, right? Why are you here? What are you building? We all have picked a vocation, real estate industry, right? And that is what pays our bills. That is becomes part of our identity and everything else. But really, what's the big picture for us, right? Are you taking care of your family? Are you building a great life? Are you building a retirement? Do you have causes that you care about? What's the bigger reason once you have your business established? What's it all about? What's it all for? Um, and then once you figure that out, now we're going to take advantage of the opportunity here at EXP to make sure that you can fund it, right? That you can fund the life that you were meant to live. So today, I want to talk to you guys about, I was chatting with some members of our community the other day, and we were talking about um, how to approach the conversation about EXP. And I think this is something that a lot of people struggle with. So I want to take that conversation a little bit deeper and share some of my response for that group as well. And sometimes there's a little bit of fear to start the conversation. Lead generation is always that's always the thing, right? If you have leads, then you can do everything else. However, getting that conversation started is difficult, right? What do I say? How do I ask them to talk to me about this stuff? I'm a realtor. I can go talk to someone and approach them about, allowing me to help them search for a home or listing their house or talking about the real estate business. But if I'm going to go talk to another agent, maybe in your head, you haven't added the other hat, right? That you wear. Like, okay, I'm a realtor. I sell houses. I'm not a recruiter, and I don't want to be a recruiter. Maybe you do want to be a recruiter, but maybe you still don't identify as a recruiter. Or that's something where you say, you go, "Oh, recruiter, I don't want to be the person that's cold calling people and they start to avoid me when they see me and that sort of thing," because that's the connotation you have in your head. And you let those limiting beliefs stop you from taking the action that you need to take and having the conversations you need to take to build an organization of your own and to build revenue share and to build freedom. Um, and that is a fully a mental shift that needs to happen. That's the only thing. You need to change the way that you see it. You need to change the way that you approach it. If you see yourself as that, if you see what you're doing as I need to go get a bunch of people and I need to go convince them all to come over here so I can make revenue share, right? Or you think that's what the role is or how it will be perceived, then of course you're not going to want to do it, right? You're going to that 500-pound phone, right? It's too heavy to lift at that point, because it just seems icky. And you're right. If that's your approach, it is kind of icky. So don't approach it that way. Think about it differently. So here's how I'm going to encourage you to think about it. And then we're going to talk about some ways you can make that happen. I'm going to encourage you to be thinking about the fact that you have something of value to offer, right? You have to draw the parallels. When you think of yourself as a realtor, if you are proud of being a realtor, why are you proud of being a realtor, right? If you say, I'm in real estate, this is what I do, right? I serve my clients. I help them with one of the most important transactions of their lives, right? The biggest financial transactions, very important. Finding where their family is going to live, getting their kids into the right school system, getting them into the right opportunity, getting them out of the wrong opportunity, helping them move on to a new opportunity, helping them expand when their family's expanding, et cetera. All of those things, making the right purchase, protecting them, making sure that they move into a house that's in a great condition, et cetera, right? All of those things you get to do. I'm serving people. I'm caring for people. I'm the best person for them to hire because I care about them. I care about I'm not about the commission. I don't have commission breath, right? It's not all about me getting paid. If I take care of people and help them achieve their goals and I help them meet their needs, right? We meet your needs and exceed your expectations, then I get paid. And all of that's a wash and everybody feels good about it. Okay. Well, when it comes to attracting agents, it's the same thing. You need to be building relationships and you need to be caring about their needs, right? What are they trying to do in their lives? Where are they trying to go? Every one of us is on a path. Every one of us is on a mission. We talk about funding our reason here. Well, that's every human being. Every human being has a reason that's out there. Every human being has a life that they want to be leading. And goals, personal goals, professional goals, financial goals, freedom, time management, right? The ability to spend time with family or spend time doing the things that they like, or working towards the opportunity to have some freedom and flexibility in their life. Um, Free of stress and worries and other things as much as you can, things that may be caused by financial or time stress and that sort of thing. We're all on that, whether we're in real estate or not. That's the human condition. And so if you have something that can help people, right? You can help people go fund their own reason. If you have access to information, resources, connections, right? All of those things, a community of people that will surround them and help them, really define what it is and help them build towards it, support them, cheer them on, right? Then if you hold that back and you don't share that with them, then you're preventing them from having access to it. And if you like helping people, if some of the main things that you like about serving in the real estate industry is that you do get to serve people and help them have successful transactions and meet their goals, et cetera, and just care for them, then this is the same thing. And so if that is your mindset, then when you approach agents, you just say, hey, I have found something that I believe is one of the best platforms for people in the real estate industry to go build a great life, to go achieve the goals that they want to achieve. Now, you may determine that it is or is not right for you, but I would love the opportunity to share it with you. And you really kind of owe it to yourself to at least listen, because almost 100,000 agents have decided this is the place for them. This is the place that offers those things, right? So I'd like to share it with you, and then you can determine that it's not the right fit or not. But if your approach is, I want to help you. Now let's take one step back even further than that. Not even being concerned about getting them to move companies, right? Not being concerned at all about that. What if in your real estate sales business, you had no concern about whether people used you to buy or sell houses, but you simply wanted to serve people in your community? What if you just wanted to find ways to help them and you say, hey, I have knowledge about real estate. I have knowledge about our local community. I have knowledge about the schools, knowledge about the neighborhoods, knowledge about taxes and all of those things. And you know, and I have connections of, people that are in construction and all of the different trades and everybody else. I have all of these friends and connections in my sphere of influence that I can connect you with. This is not about you using me to buy or sell real estate. I just want to serve. I want to help people. But the byproduct is if I help and serve enough people and come from contribution, right, and you can come to me for anything. I want to use my connections and knowledge to help you. Then there's a very high likelihood that if they know that you're in real estate, they're going to want to work with you. So what if your approach is purely, I want to help other realtors. I want to help other agents succeed. I want to help them live great lives. I want to help them grow their business. I want to help them learn how to time leverage and teach and show them some cool technology tools that they might be able to use to leverage, or introduce them to somebody I know who might be able to help them, whether it's a coach or just someone who can answer some questions for them, or my title partners, my mortgage partners, whoever it is. I just want to help people in the real estate industry succeed at the highest level. Now, what I found being in real estate leadership for over 2.5 decades is that if you help people, if you become the source of information, resources and tools and everything else like that, that they can use to go achieve their goals, then there is a very high likelihood that they're going to want to follow you. People want to follow the people that they feel can help them get where they want to go. That's why we follow people. If you become that resource for them, then they are going to come to you. They're going to go to you, go to you, go to you, go to you. And eventually they're going to go, hey, why aren't we in business together? Right? Why haven't you told me about EXP? And now there's going to be that door will be open for you if you're coming from contribution. So now in your approach just becomes, where are you trying to go with your business? What are your goals? I want to know about your business. I want to know what you're doing. Because if there's anything, I'm in this amazing group and we have these really cool resources, and I've learned a few things myself. And really, kind of my mission right now is to serve the industry. Right? And so if there's anything that I can do to help you, I want to do it. I want to provide that, even if it's just a connection to somebody else. And they say, well, I'm not interested in changing companies. You say, okay, I'm not, I'm not here to ask you to change companies. I'm here to, build a relationship so that we can work together on transactions together, and to help each other out. I think that's what we should be doing in our industry. And the more connections and relationships we have in the business, the better it is for all of us. Doesn't that make sense? Great. Let's get coffee. Let's hang out. I loved hanging out with you. Now, when we get together, I'm not going to bait and switch. We're going to hang out. I'm going to ask about your family. I'm going to ask about your business. I'm going to ask about your goals. I'm going to ask about what are you trying to accomplish? I'm going to ask about your exit strategy and what you're building and all of those things. I just want to know. And throughout all of those questions, right, I'm active listening and I'm taking notes and I'm looking for some way I can help you. And that has nothing to do with you changing companies. I'm only looking for a way that I can help you, right? I'm just going to take notes, ask questions, ask questions, ask questions. And once I've kind of exhausted that, I'm going to be like, that's awesome. Thank you for sharing that with me. Yeah, man, that's, you've got some really great stuff going on. I did notice at one point though, you mentioned this. Can I ask you a couple other questions about that? Great. What about this? What about this? What about this? Right? Would it be helpful if I could give you this, or I could introduce you to someone who has done this, right? And they go, oh, that'd be great. All right, perfect. And I'm going to make the connection. I'm going to make the introduction. We're still not talking about changing companies. I'm not talking about my company or anything else. Building the relationship, coming from contribution. I'm making the connection, then I'm following up. Hey, how did that go? Here's that tool. Here's the stuff I told you I send you. Here's that person's number, or here I'm doing a text introduction, then following back up. Hey, did you get a chance to meet with them or talk with them? Was that helpful? Good. I have some other people that might be able to help with that as well. Would you like those connections? Is there, what else can I be doing for you? Those are the kinds of things. And they're just going, why are you helping me? And you're like, I told you this is what I do, right? This is what I'm about. I'm the byproduct of, I'm the product of other people having helped me, having lifted me up, having taught me when I was new, right? And maybe some of you are new and you say, hey, I'm new and people are helping me all the time. And that is great. And it's really helping me out. I'm going through it right now and I'm in the process. I haven't learned everything, but I've been really blessed to be surrounded by great people and to be at a place where I have access to all of the information that I need. And I know that's not everybody's situation. And so it makes me feel good to help, makes me feel good to give back. And you don't have to wait till you're a top producer to give back. Um, okay, so that's part of that process and part of that conversation. There's a tool that I've used called the gap analysis. And so this is really for someone where if you're talking with someone, especially if you have more of a consultative approach, maybe you've been in leadership before, or maybe you just have had other experiences, or the person is very open to receiving some more guidance, right? And you say, hey, I've got a really cool thing that I've done, right? That my coach has done with me, my mentor has used with me, or whatever it is, right? And I found it to be really helpful. If you're interested, I can take you through the process. It's really clarifying. And if nothing else, you kind of take some things that may be in the back of your mind that you haven't had a process to clarify, and then it actually puts a path to them. And it's pretty awesome. I'm going to share my screen real quick and I'm going to show you the gap analysis. All right. So this tool, and for those of you in our Fire Partners community, this has been uploaded to some of the spots in Slack, and we will upload it to our main page, main channel in Slack as well. So you can have access to it. If you're not in our Fire Partners community and you would like access to it, just DM me and I will send you a copy of it. Happy to share. So when you take someone through this process, this is helping them really clarify who they are becoming, where they are going, how do they build a great life. And sometimes a long time ago, we kind of thought of what we want. And we sort of have these, over time, it's come this a little bit blurry in the distance, kind of, yeah, of course I know where I'm going, right? But I say, great, define it for me. Most people can't. not with clarity. So this is an exercise to say, hey, let's talk about that. We're going to take some of the key areas in your life. And, I want you to imagine that you and I are getting together 5 years from now. Okay. It's 5 years down the road. And I'm going to ask you, I'm going to say, hey, how have the last 5 years been? Right? How happy are you with your life and your career now? Right. And so now we're going to talk about what has to have happened during these past 5 years for you to be able to truthfully respond. It's fantastic, right? It's better than I ever would have imagined. I am so happy right now that my life is amazing. Life is amazing. Everything, all the things, like all the areas, in my life are really just hitting on all cylinders. And I couldn't have drawn it out any better than the way that it's gone. It's just amazing. And I'm going to say, great. Tell me about that. All right. Now we're gonna dig into that. What is it? Okay. So we're gonna go through talking about the different key aspects of their life. We're gonna talk about family. You're gonna talk about their professional life, their financial life, and recreation. Okay. And you don't have to go specifically in that orders, but those are the kind of the four key categories. It's almost like Ford model, right? But family, professional, and this family is, it's your relationships and that kind of stuff, right? So family, you can relationships, again, depending on the person and their particular situation, their professional life, their career, right? Their finances, and then their recreation, right? What are they doing outside of all of that to enrich themselves and just relax and have fun. Okay, I want to know how those are, and so you're going to ask them the first one. Let's start with finances, right? Start with finances and say, okay, great. So you know, let's talk about that. If it's the best that it could be, it's better than you imagined. Financially, you are in the best place that you've ever been, and you feel amazing about it, and it just couldn't be any better. What does that look like? Right? If your finances are in a great place, then what does that look like? So I want you to have them really define that specifically, right? Do you have money in the bank? Do you have a certain amount of cash flow coming in? Do you have investments? Do you own investment properties? Right? What are the things that have happened in the last 5 years where financially your taxes are all paid, right? Realtors, right? You're caught up on taxes. Taxes are paid. Great. I have no pressure on that. I'm filing quarterly. I have all of that structure. I have money saved over here. I've have money on this. My kids' college tuition is all saved for, or it's all paid off. I have a retirement account. I have whatever. All of those things. What does that look like to financially be in the best spot that you could be in? That it's amazing, right? So this is what you're trying to pull from them and lay that out. And they don't have to say how much money and all that kind of stuff, but what is what is it that's there? What is it that's happened? I've saved, I've paid off, I've, what prepared for, all of those other things. All of those things have happened. I've gotten these things paid off. Maybe, my house is paid off, whatever it is, paid cash for my car, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. Um, and if they say, maybe they've purchased a vacation home or something. I want to know, like, where is it? What does it look like? All right. Give me some. I want you to really get clear. You've purchased the beach house that looks like this. It's in this area, et cetera, et cetera. Right. I really want them to think about those things. The next question, once you've had them to define some of those things, like what does that take, is okay, so why are these things important to you? Why is it important to you that these things happen? Right. And what will it do for you when you've achieved those things? What does it do? How has it enhanced your life to have those things achieved? And how will you feel, right? 5 years from now, and you're in that spot financially, how are you feeling that? What are the feelings that that evokes for you having achieved those things over the past 5 years? Okay. And you're writing all of those things down. So those are all bullet points under that main outcome. What's the main outcome? And then boom, you're asking these questions and going through there. So you need to go through 4 outcomes. Okay. And then you're going to write those down. There's your little future self. Okay. You can just you can just write it on a piece of paper in 4 spots. You don't have to use my stick figure, but if it's helpful, you can do this. That just gives you the visual on the 4 spots where you're going to go through each one and you're going to write down all of the information and the stuff they tell you. You're just taking notes. You got to take notes though. Got to make sure you're taking notes. Okay. So you have you have all of these outcomes. You have your 5-year goals under each one of these. I'm going to show you the next page, and it's going to show you how now we're going to go from where they are to where they want to be, right? Because the difference from where they are today to where they hope to be in 5 years for everything to be amazing, that's your gap. All right. So now we have to figure out how to get like, okay, great. We can now picture the outcome, which for a lot of people is half the battle because, like I said before, they don't have clarity on where it is they want to be in 5 years. So they're just slogging forward. But man, when you get up every day and you're working towards a really undefined future, it's underwhelming a lot of days. It's not motivating, right? It becomes like that old it was a Dunkin' Donuts commercial, right? Time to make the donuts. Little dude with the mustache, right? Gets up early every day, makes the donuts, the drudgery of everyday activities and that sort of stuff. It just kind of falls into that unless you see how you are moving the needle towards this incredible future every day because you know where you're going. Right? If you are driving on vacation, right? If you have an 8-hour drive to go on vacation, but you know the resort you're going to, you've been looking at the pictures for the last 4 months, dreaming about it, the beach, the palm trees, the everything else, and all that kind of stuff. And you have you've been looking at the different restaurants that are there and the stuff you're going to do. You have some itineraries planned. You're super pumped. Maybe your itinerary is just sitting on the beach with a cocktail. Okay. But you have just been picturing it and it's so clear in your mind and you're so excited. That 8-hour drive, the closer you get, the more excited you are, right? When you get within that last hour, you're like, oh my gosh, only one more hour and I'm going to park this thing and I'm going to plop on the beach and I'm so excited. Okay. If you don't know where you're going, if it's just like, hey, I need you to go pick something up, it's 8 hours away and you're driving 4 hours in, you were like, this sucks, right? This is a long drive. Traffic's horrible. I'm tired. I'm hungry, right? Need another rest stop. Okay. It's not as exciting if you are not going somewhere great or you don't even know where you're going. Okay. That's not motivating. So just getting clarity on where they're going is a huge help for most people. You could almost stop there, but you could take them a step further, right? The next step is going, great. We've defined it. You know where you are right now. Now you have clarity around who you're becoming, where you're going, what you're creating in your life. Now, a lot of times people say, okay, that's great, but I just gave you the description of my best life. But 5 years ago, I wanted those same things. And here I am today, not that much farther ahead than where I was 5 years ago. I'm starting to lose faith or confidence that in 5 years from now, I'm going to be there. Now that reality comes and whacks me upside the head, and I go, you know, I don't know. Maybe I can't actually do that. Maybe losing some belief in themselves. When you don't know how to get there, now it's almost worse. It's almost more painful because now you look at it and you go, great, now I can picture my best life. Now I have clarity of what I don't have and what I'll probably never have because I don't know how to get there. If I knew how to get there, I'd be there already. Great. Let's map out a path because that's usually just what it takes. All right. I think it was Martin Luther King that said, right? He said, you don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take the first step. Right. And so that's the case here. It's a matter of sometimes that forward momentum creates opportunity. And so it's moving forward. Well, let's map out a path of where you want to go. Let's map out that plan. Okay. So if I show you here on this next page, okay, what's today? You're going to take category one. We used financial as one, family or relationships, right? Recreation, professional. Where are you in your business today? What did we just define as your 5-year? Write that down. What's the difference between the two? Where are you now? Well, now I'm selling X number of houses. I'm producing X amount. My 1099 says this, my net is this, right? 5 years from now, professionally, I want to be selling X number of houses. I want to be, producing this much income and this much volume and netting this much and maybe having a team and having all, whatever it is, whatever your 5 year goal is. Maybe you want to be retired at that point. Okay. Okay, great. We have those two things written down. Okay. Let's just come up with 3 action steps that can move you forward, that if you executed on these, then you're going to move yourself towards that 5 year goal. Okay, so what's one that we come up with? Maybe you're suggesting some, maybe you're getting from that because most people know what to do. They just have to do it, right? We don't always need a lot of, we feel like we need to go out and get trained on all these different things, but it really just comes down to taking action on the stuff we already know we need to be doing. Okay, so lay it out for me. If there were 3 action steps that would move the needle the most, that would really move you in that direction towards achieving that, what are the 3 things that must happen in order for you to achieve that 5 year goal in this category? Let's write them down with as much specificity as you can, right? Get as specific as you can and dig into, what those things are that need to happen. Okay. You're going to do that for each one of those categories. So 3 action steps. You're defining where they are today, you're defining where they're going, and then you're giving them 3 action steps that they can take to move themselves forward. You're going to do that for each category. For financials, maybe they need to start saving for this. I need to start, putting some money away over here. I need to start, whatever that is. I need to, switch to filing quarterly. I need to, whatever it is, pick your thing, but there's, okay, in each category, what are 3 major action steps that you can do? Once you have that, now there's some clarity on where they're going and some momentum to move forward. Because you're going to do action step number 1, then you're going to do action step number 2, then you're going to do action step number 3. If you're doing that in all of these categories in your life, you are moving yourself forward. You're starting to see results, and you're starting to feel the enthusiasm. You're starting to feel hope and possibility. Whereas before it was this pipe dream down the road where it's really great that now I feel bad that I'll never get there. And now it's like, you're the little engine that could, right? You think you can. And that's awesome. That's an awesome place to be. And one of the biggest gifts of working with people and helping people, achieve their goals and fund their reason is seeing that, sometimes it's the light bulb coming back on over the head. Sometimes it's the pilot light reigniting, that fire in their eyes, that, that enthusiasm, that sense of accomplishment and hope, right? That they can do this. And it's like, oh my gosh, this actually might happen. That is one of the coolest things, and helping people build great lives and achieve things is amazing. And this has nothing to do with people changing real estate companies. I don't care what logo you have on your business card. I want to help you be successful. None of that stuff matters to me. If I help enough people be successful, number 1, my reward will be in heaven. But number 2, for me, when I help people, they're going to keep coming back for me for help. And hopefully, if I'm helping the right people, they're going to turn around and help people around them. It has a massive ripple effect. And one of the things that I can offer is a platform. I can offer a platform where people can come and help other people. The platform at eXp Realty is the best one that I have ever. I've been in this industry for a long time. It is the best platform that I have ever encountered to serve other people and help them succeed, and where it also comes back to you. So then they go, great, how, like, this is awesome. I want to take advantage of this. Great. You can come onto this platform and utilize this platform to reach back and help other people as well. And that's part of the network effect of eXp. And that is what we've built here. And that's why we call it the FYR Partners Community, because we're all partners in this, and it is a community. We're all helping each other out. We're all contributing. And that makes it really powerful. It makes it an awesome place to be. And it makes it a great place to invite other people to come into as well. So hopefully this tool here is something that is helpful to you. All of the explanations are on this. So you can just download the document and go through the explanation. All of the steps and everything are there. Utilize the tool. And once you know the tool, you don't need the forms, right? You don't need the little dude with the arms and the legs and everything else. You don't need all of that. You just need a piece of paper and a pen or pencil, and ask questions. Be prepared for those questions. Once you know those prompt questions, then you're going to go, hey, like I said, there's a great tool. There's a great process. I've been through this in coaching or working with my mentor. And if you would like, if you're in the Fire Partners community, and you want me to go through this with you for your own, I'm happy to. That way you can experience it being done. You can experience going through it and have that. Maybe you guys work with each other on that. Maybe it's with your sponsor or some of your other partners, people in your own, micro orgs inside of the Fire Partners community. Maybe you want to work with me directly on it. Either way, you guys all have my Calendly link. You can just schedule it and say this is what we want to do. And maybe you're not with us. Maybe you're not with EXP yet, and you want to check this out and you want to do this. If someone in the organization has invited you to check this or they sent you a link to this, then reach out to them and they'll take you through this. And if I send it to you, reach out to me. I'd be happy to. But please share this tool with others. It's a really, really great thing to go through. And it's actually a cool thing for couples to go through, for parents to go through with their kids, helping people plan for their future and understand where they're going and have clarity around where they're going and have a path to get there is amazing. This is great for teens and this is great for college students, post-college students, and all that kind of stuff. So I've just found it to be something that's really, really helpful. All right, y'all. You can't break it. Just get out there and try it. Like I said, you could test it out on each other, test it out on, family and everything else, and just get used to going through the process where you can fumble through it without being embarrassed, get comfortable with it. So then if you use it with, someone in your sphere or an agent that you're talking to, it won't be the first time you've gone through it. And you can feel very comfortable taking them through the process, and don't be afraid to be human, right? Nobody's going to judge you if you fumble on a couple of words, or you have to go back and check your notes. You just say, hey, I haven't done this a ton of times. I've gone through it myself, and I found it helpful. So I just want to share it with you. Let's have some fun with it. All right, guys, have an amazing day. Appreciate you.